Hi there, I'm Gary. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you've been here before. Now today I'm building the Airfix 1/32 scale kit of the Aston Martin DBR9 race car. Now there's already a companion video available if you're thinking of buying the kit, want to see what you get. The box opening is already available, and shortly will be available the combo video, which is today's content, the box opening, plus some bonus historical material as well. If you like the channel, and I hope you do, then please do remember to subscribe to it by clicking on the logo down there in the bottom right corner. Doesn't cost you anything, helps me enormously, and if you like the video, please do remember to like it below. If you'd like to offer a bit more concrete support, you can do that through clicking the super thanks button. That also lets me know which videos are most popular, and you can also support the channel through Patreon and through Buy Me a Coffee. Links to both of these are in the information box below. There's also a link to the Airfix online store. If you click on that and then buy anything at all, then Airfix, at no extra cost to you, will donate some money to this channel. Okay, that's enough of all of that. Let's get on and make the Aston Martin DBR9 in 1/32 scale from Airfix. The first thing I'll do is prime some of the parts with grey and others with black, depending on what they will be. Here I'm starting with the wheels. The tyres need to be sanded down, but don't use too fine a sandpaper as you want them to look a little bit scuffed up. Unless of course you're fresh out the pits, in which case they'll be a little bit shiny. Now the brakes, and for the discs I'm using a burnt iron colour. Then the hubs and calipers I'll paint in steel for contrast. While those dry, I'll assemble the tyres. There's this small ring on the inside surface of the tyre. I found the front tyres a really good fit, but the rear tyres were a little loose. If you push the face in too far, you can just raise it out with the end of a spatula or something like that until it sits against the edge correctly. Then fix it in place with a bead of ultra thin cement. When those are set, the brakes can go into each wheel. There's a square peg to help align them. Now the outside of the rim I'm painting in steel over the black primer I used at the start. I'm just going to brush along the top surfaces here so as to get a feel of shading on the spokes. On the inside floor there are these boxes you can pick out in aluminium if you like. On the seat I'm painting the safety belts in red. There's a metal buckle too at the bottom, and I'm just hoping they'll actually be visible on the model. And then back to the tyres, and I'm going to paint the tread in a couple of coats of tyre black. Then the sides of the wheels get a coat of black. They're darker than the tread as they don't have any wear. Now to put the wheels on, and you need to check where the caliper is. Here it's on the right. They need to sit towards the middle of the car, so front wheel caliper pointing back and rear wheel caliper pointing forward. The square axle stub will help you get this alignment. Now while all of that's setting, I'll spray the body shell in blue. It's the paint supplied, just thinned down a little with water. I find it works okay in an airbrush. I'll also spray the front air dam. Back to the chassis now, and the wheel arches can go into place. Then the floor pan goes in. Now I'll use some clamps to make sure all of this sits correctly, because this gives rigidity to the bottom of the car and I'd like it to be straight. Now the roll cage, it goes together really well. But this last piece, the rear cross member, the instructions are a little vague as to where it actually sits. You really want them to connect to the base of the rear horizontal bar. Now the center console, and I'll put this block of switches in first, make sure it's all painted black, and then start on the details. Just run some white over everything first, then go back with red, yellow and blue over various bits and pieces and I'll leave some with white. I'm sure you can find references about exact colours and where they should go somewhere. I'm just after a visual effect. The steering column goes in under the fascia like this. Then I can put the whole thing into the car. Of course, what I should have done is put the pedals in first, but there's plenty of space to fit them afterwards, and I don't think anyone noticed. Then the steering wheel goes on, followed by the gear lever. And when it's all set, I'll just go over with some black to get the finish level. Then the driver's seat can go into place. Make sure it sits up against the forward edge of the hole. And then this roll cage can go on, and you know what, it fits really well first time, so well done to the designers there. So now I'm going to paint the top of the air splitter with black as it will be visible, and I'm adding a stripe of black around the bottom of the body shell. Then the front air dam goes over the splitter plate. Next up, I'll put the windows into the body shell. There are tabs to get them in the right place, but I found that the body shell was slightly out of alignment, so this took some gentle persuasion to get right. It might be better to use some sort of super glue spot welding instead to get it quite set, but do be careful not to craze the transparent plastic. Next, I'll paint the headlamps. I wish I had the skills to put in some LEDs, maybe another day. Then the lamp housings go into the body shell. Then the rear light cluster goes in. It's in one piece, but you do need to push it in well to seat correctly. I'll also remember to paint the back of the lights in silver to give it that reflector look. And with all that done and dusted, the body shell can sit on the floor pan. Make sure all the contact points are glued and use clamps or tape to hold everything in place to set. While that's drying, I think I'll build the rear wing. There's just a couple of brackets to go in, and I'll paint it all black in a moment. While I think of it, I'll paint the middle of the rear light cluster the same colour as the body. So with everything set and dry, it's decal time. The nose decal is really very fiddly. It will go on okay, but it's really difficult to set around the radiator intake on the nose, and it drapes right over an air outlet. So you need to cut it to shape with a very sharp blade. I think this nose stripe should have been 3 or 4 pieces as a decal, not just 2. Also, where the decal sits, the nose badge is in the wrong place for the detail. Now, if I build one of these kits again, I'm going to sand off the moulded badge. With the decals eventually done, I'll put on the wing mirrors, and then I'll fit the rear wing. The headlamp covers can go on next, fixed with a bit of white PVA as it dries nice and clear. The top of the lamp cover slips underneath the top of the bodywork. Then I'll add some transparent red onto the brake lights, some silver on the mirrors, a few last aerials, and the Aston Martin DBR9 is done. Well, let's start off with it not being a bad kit at all. It's tricky for a starter set, but well worth the effort, I think. It would benefit from better designed decals around the nose and a revised instruction leaflet in the current much clearer style. The majority of parts, however, fit very well, and there are no major minefields in the build other than the shape of the body shell, which seems to be a little bit pinched, making the fit of the windows a bit tricky. You can get a very reasonable DBR9 with a bit of effort. You could get a really good one with time and patience. That's it then, the Aston Martin DBR9. What a beautiful car. Now, if you've enjoyed the video, and I really hope you do, then please make sure to say so by clicking the like button down there. giving us the thumbs up. And also, if you haven't done so already, please do remember to subscribe to the channel. You do that by clicking the small logo down in the bottom right. It won't cost you anything. It helps me enormously. In any case, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.